Hi, good morning to all VVIT students. So last classes as part of DC motors, we have discussed about speed control methods of DC motor. Now today's class we are going to discuss about different types of tests on DC machine. So basically here there are two types of tests we are going to conduct on DC machine as per your syllabus. So one of the main important types of tests on DC machines are classified into no load test and direct load test. That is indirect loading method, and the other one is called direct loading method. In indirect method, one of the example for the test which is called as Swinburne's test. So that is in your syllabus one of the test which is mentioned as Swinburne's test. And the other method which comes under as direct loading method, that is the example for the test is brake test. Brake test. So as part of the indirect and direct loading testing methods of DC motor, so first we'll discuss about direct loading testing method. Direct loading testing method. So which is brake test on DC shunt machine. Brake test on DC shunt machine. So this test we are going to conducting on the DC motor. So that is the shunt type of DC motor. We are going to conduct brake test on DC shunt motor. So basically this test which is comes under direct loading testing method. So why we are calling as direct loading testing method? Because here direct on live we are going to apply the load on the DC motor and we are going to determine the efficiency of the DC motor. So that's why we are calling as direct loading. Direct loading means lively we are applying the load on the DC motor and taking the readings, and from that we are going to calculate the efficiency of the DC motor. So that's why this method is called as direct test method. Direct test method. So this is what we have represented here. This is direct testing method. So it is a direct testing method. So that is used for finding the efficiency of a small DC machines. So basically the direct testing methods which are used for small type of machines. If it is a large machine, then they will go for, that is the another method, indirect testing method. So here the output of the power of the DC motor is measured by applying brake to the pulley. So this is the arrangement we are going to take here. This is the brake drum with pulley arrangement. What we are calling, this is brake drum. So this is the brake drum which I am showing here. So that is the belt arrangements. So these are the two belts. So here these are the two belts. So these are the two belts, and across the belts we are going to connecting to, these are called spring balance system. So that is here, this is the weights we are going to measure. So those are W1 and W2 we have taken. So those are the spring balance system. And this brake drum, this is the total brake drum arrangement what we are calling. So here we are tightening this belt by using, these are the weights. So here we are going to use, by using these two we are going to make tightening or loosening of the belt, so such a way that there could be load is going to be applied. So this total system, this brake drum arrangement, here we are going to connecting to the shaft of the motor. Here we are going to connecting the shaft of the motor. So this total arrangement, so this is the total arrangement of the belt arrangement what we are calling, and this we are going to connecting across the shaft of the motor. So this is the arrangement we are going to make consideration for conducting brake test. So that's what we have written here. Theoretically, one rope is wound round the pulley and it has two ends attached to the spring balances W1 and W2, whatever I shown in the diagram. The the tension of the rope can be adjusted by using swivels until the ammeter at the input side shows the full load current. So here for this arrangement I am taking, this is the circuit diagram arrangement which I have shown here. So this is the circuit arrangement which I have represented. So this is for conducting full load brake test on DC shunt motor. So this is the main supply system here. So this is the one ammeter which I am connecting. So that is I represented as IL, load current, which is measured for that purpose ammeter. And one more here which I have shown, the voltmeter. So for measuring what is the how much input voltage I am giving. So for measuring that voltmeter. And these are the two arrangements which I am making here. So this is the one voltmeter and this is the one ammeter which I have connected here. So these are the two equipments which I have connected to the DC motor. So this is for measuring the voltage, supply voltage, how much input supply voltage I applied. So for that I want to know the measure the voltage. And this is the ammeter, so which shows the load current, how much load current which is supplying to the motor. So this is what two meters which I am using, and this brake drum which is connected to the shaft. So this is the arrangement which I am showing here. And from this we need to conduct some brake test so on the DC motor, and we have to find out the efficiency of the DC motor. So that is our aim. So by conducting brake test we are going to determine the efficiency of the DC motor at different load conditions. So if it is the rated current of 10 amperes is there for motor, so for 2 amperes if it is the load, how much efficiency? If it is 4 amperes of the load, so if we are consuming the load of 4 amperes by the motor, then what is the efficiency? Or if it is 6 amperes of the load current, then what could be the efficiency of the motor? If it is a 8 amperes of the total load current, so then what could be the efficiency? So like that, for at different load conditions we are going to determine the efficiency of the DC motor by applying the load, and we are applying the lively load. So how to apply that load? That is by using that belt arrangement. So by tightening the belt arrangement we are going to observe that load current on ammeter which I have connected on the motor which I have shown previously in the diagram, that load current, by changing the load current, so how it is changing the load current? So whenever you are tightening the belt on the pulley such a way that your ammeter is going to become changing. So for different rated load currents we have to take the readings of the corresponding values, and from that we have to determine the efficiency of the DC motor. So that is our aim. Is it clear? So here for determining voltage, here I need some formulas, what is the relation. Already we have expressed the torque equation. From that only we have seen the torque and output relation. The same formula here we are going to use it for calculating the efficiency of the motor also. So here V is the supply voltage, IL is the full load current, and W1 is the spring balance reading. So that is how much weight on the W1, and the W2 is also same thing, spring balance reading in kgs, and R is the radius of the pulley, and N is the speed of the motor in RPM. So these are the letters which are representing here what is what. So V is the supply voltage, IL is the full load current which I have connected ammeter and voltmeter in the circuit diagram. So and W1 is the I have shown there. So W1 is the spring balance reading in kgs, W2 is also spring balance in the reading kgs, and R is the radius, and N is the speed in RPM. So here the shaft torque developed by the motor. So this is what we have derived already. So here obviously the torque equation, from the torque we are getting, this is the formula which is called, so here which I have shown the torque relation. So that is the torque which you can find out by using, this is the relation we are going to use, 9.81 into W1 difference W2 into R Newton meters. So this is the torque relation. So this is the torque, which is equal to, what is the relation, 9.81 into W1 difference W2 into R is the radius of the pulley, so that you can measure, so how much radius of the pulley, so 2 pi r is equal to how much, and from that R is equal to how many meters we can measure, so that we are getting. And W1 is what, W2 is what, W1 which is showing spring balance reading of the in kgs, and W2 is the spring balance. These are the two weights we have to measure in each reading of the load current. So this is the formula which I am using. Torque is equal to 9.81 into W1 difference W2 into R Newton meters. So this is one formula which I am using. And motor input, so this is what already you know, motor input, which is nothing but, so motor input, so here motor input, which is nothing but here motor input, which is called, what is the relation, motor input already you know the from the basic principle which I am discussed. So the motor input, which is given by V into IL, which I have shown in the diagram also last in the classes. Motor input, which is equal to V into IL, V into I, here V into IL, that is representing motor input, you know. And here from that, by using this torque relation, we can find out the output also. So here we have some relation. What is that relation which I have shown? The output power, which is equal to, what is the relation, 2 pi nt by 60. So this is the torque and output relation, last classes we have discussed. So this is the one important relation, output power is equal to 2 pi nt by 60. So from this torque which can be determined, torque which you can determine, so that is the relation here. Torque, how to calculate torque? Torque is nothing but, so this is the formula, we can use it and we can get the torque. And if we substitute torque here, then we can get the output power. So N, you know, N also can be taken reading for each load current, how much, what is the speed we have to measure. So from that we can know all the values and we can calculate the output power. Once if you know the input and output, the efficiency can be calculated very easily. So that is, we know that efficiency is equal to output power by input power. If you make it into 100, if you multiply, that could be converted into percentile efficiency. So this is the output calculation. So that is the efficiency of the motor at full load, which you can calculate. So this is the output power divided by input power into 100. If you make it, so you will get the efficiency calculation. And from this, which is showing the observation table here clearly. So here we have to run the motor and we have to apply the load. At each load, we have to measure the spring balance W1 reading and W2 spring balance reading and N RPM. And these are the 4-5 readings we have to measure for each reading. Whenever you are applying the load current, so at that corresponding load current, we have to measure the, what is the spring balance W1, what is the spring balance W2, and what is the speed of the motor. These are the values for the corresponding load current. So anyway, voltage should be always constant. So there may be not changing any, there is no value of the voltage which is not maybe varied, more change we cannot expect. So almost we can say that the voltage should be constant. So anyway, we are going to measure all these 5 values for applying the load current when it is 2 amperes or 4 amperes, 6 amperes, 8 amperes, 10 amperes. If it is a full load rated current of the motor is 10 amperes, up to 10 amperes you can measure. So beyond that we could not apply the full load rated current. So that's what, how much rated current of the motor is there. So up to that full load rated current we have to apply. For the corresponding IL, we have to note down the values of W1, W2 and the corresponding speed values. So these are the all the values we have to measure for each load current. We have to measure the each load current, all these 4 values. Is it clear? So once if you are taken these values and we can get what is V into IL. For if it is example, first 2 amperes load current. 2 amperes load current, we are getting some all the values, and from this, for this 2 amperes we need to measure what is the input, motor input, so that what we have to make it, so that V value into that total load current. So here IL is the 2, and if it is voltage is some example 220 volts, so therefore 220 into 2, that will become V into IL for this corresponding reading of 2 amperes. So that is the input. And similarly we have some spring balance of 1 W1 and spring balance of W2 is 2 is there. So W1 difference W2, 1 difference 2, so 2 minus 2 difference 2 and 1, there is a 1 difference. So like that we have to calculate and we have to get all the values. So according to that, so we have to get for 2 amperes. If it is some 4 amperes, for example load current of 4 amperes, so this is the second case which I have taken. So for this 4 amperes, what is the voltage I have to measure, what is the W1 reading, what is the W2 reading, what is the speed reading. So all these values, for each value of the rated current we have to note down, and from this we have to calculate what is the input. So V into IL is how much. So for each value of the load current, V into IL we have to make it, so that it is what it is representing input power. And for each value of the load current, we have to similarly we have to calculate the torque value. So torque is nothing but what is the relation we are getting. So 9.81 into difference of R into W1 difference into W2. So from that you will get the torque. Once if you get the torque, so you can calculate the output relation 2 pi nt by 60. So from this you substitute this torque value and the corresponding value of the speed, we are going to get output for each reading. For similarly you will get for 2 amperes what is the output, if it is a 4 amperes what is the output, if it is a 6 amperes what is the output, we have to calculate. So why? Because here for every value of the load current, your load current value IL is changing, W1 is changing, W2 is changing, and speed value is also changing. So you have to take it for all the readings of the load current separately. We have to measure all these values, and from that we have to use these relations and we have to get the output, torque and everything, and input. So if you know these three, then you can get the input can be calculated in this way, input can be calculated in this way, and output can be calculated by using this is the relation. Once torque and output can be getting from that relation. So if you are getting these are the output and input, so just we have to put the relation, that is efficiency can be calculated output power divided by input power. If you make it and if you multiply with 100, that percentile efficiency you are going to get. So the efficiency can be calculated for first case 2 amperes, how much? So for if it is a 4 amperes load current, how much? If it is a 6 amperes load current, so how much? So for all these rated currents, that is if it is a full load, or if it is a half load, or if it is a 1/4 load, or if it is a 3/4 load, so at any load current the efficiency of the DC motor can be calculated by using this type of brake test method. So why? Because we are applying the load through belt arrangement. So that's why this is lively, we are applying the load and we are checking through the belt arrangement the weights, and from that we are going to calculating the output, input, torque, all these things, and by using all these input and outputs we are going to calculate efficiency of the DC motor. Thanking you.